Good evening, I am Adventure Argonaut and this is Rogue Trader. Last time we spent most of the stream on Footfall, the station, and there was a sort of a civil war there. And Incendia Corda didn't end up well for her. But now the station is at peace and we have to go to Euphrates 2 or Euphrates 11 as the joke goes, because there's a siege going on, but I think before that we should there's side quest, something to do with Cassie, right? And yeah, my streams all look functional indeed. Okay. So we should go here for Cassie's personal quest. Yeah, we can just go here directly. No, wait, this one. This way there. I guess. Celio Prophecy. The vessel's confessors report discontent among the flock during the traditional sermon before departure. A ritual chandelier's 100 candles were snuffed out at once. The missionaries attribute this incident to an open ventilation shaft, but the voyagemen noticed it and are whispering about an ill omen, fearing the woes that may soon come. I don't know, let's try the other one. Coercion. Organize punitive processions against everyone faltering in their belief. Success. Resounding condemnation of weakness and of spirit and body led to arbitrary reprisals against anyone who dared even mention the troubles hanging over the crew. With the permission of the confessors, the voyagemen took the task of bolstering morale into their own hands and successfully quelled the rising panic. Yeah, I guess there's nothing to do there. Let's make it a bit safer. Oh. Coroner's Expanse Region or Celio Prophecy System, Sanctum Navis Exterior Observation Chambers, Witness Interrogation and Vox Records conducted by Upper Deck Enforcers. Entry A 2014866. Trend chronometer turns since the incident. Enforcer Witness IDE on 00110101. You claim that you had left the Sanctum Navis on the Lady Navigator's orders. Hide, blah blah blah, okay. Affirmative, this unit acted in accordance with the maintenance protocol TRN 08353. Step 1, sense the sacred mechanisms for the duration of 15 chronometer turns. Step 2, Enforcer, you failed to inform the bridge about the imminent jump. I want to know why. Hideon, blah blah blah, data unavailable. The Lady Navigator ordered that she be connected to the void ship, but she did not order the preparation of the machine spirits for warp translation. Cause a ritual that cannot be identified by this unit's capabilities. This unit received the command to interrupt protocol TRN 08353 and exit Sanctum Navis. Entry blah blah blah, 30 chronometer turns since the incident. 7. No, please, not the fingers. Enforcer, I'm gonna break 1 every word of lie I hear coming from your mouth. Now talk. Please, you have to believe me. All we did was prepare the canvas and mix the Lady Navigator's blood into the paints. Then we were told to lock open the shutter so that the Lord Captain could see everything that was going on inside the Sanctum Navis from the observation chambers, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Enforcer grog shit. Armor glass can't shield you from warp horrors. I swear it on my soul and the golden throne, Master Enforcer. Lady Navigator only wanted to paint a picture for a ritual or some such. That's all I know. She wasn't going to use the power in her eye, but I still got as far away from there as I could. That's all I saw, I'm telling you. Entry blah blah blah, 50 chronometer turns since the incident. We performed an emergency warp jump, barely activated the Geller field in time, and are now being dragged to throne knows where by an unknown force. The Lady Navigator and the Lord Captain are still unaccounted for. Now tell me, one more time, what transpired in the Sanctum Navis? I escorted the Lord Captain to the observation chambers. Yelled the servants for leaving the shutters open, but then I was told it was rogue traders' orders. We could see the Lady Navigator clearly through the armor glass. She was vexed, pacing around the room, overseeing preparations for a ritual of some sort. Even to me, the look in her eyes felt like a lead weight around my neck. Soon the servants were over to leave the Sanctum Navis, and the Lady Navigator picked up her brush. In trance, she started dragging it across the canvas, painting one image of another, and another over the last, and another, and then Lord Captain noticed it. There was this thing on the other side, the picture covered in a layer of fresh blood. It was coming to life, but the Lady Navigator was oblivious. That is when Lord Captain... I don't know, dashed the control panel. I didn't dare stop him, I just watched, bolter at the ready. The machine spirits went mad. The doors and the shutters started opening and closing at random, but the rogue trader managed to dart inside. Started by all the noise, the Lady Navigator turned around. Then those horrors in her painting, they broke free. And what happened next? I barely remember a thing. There was a bright flash, a purple blur. I remember feeling so scared that my knees were shaking. I remember my legs carrying me away, like they had a mind of their own. As I ran, I heard screams behind me. The Lord Captain, Lady Cassia, they... Oh God, Emperor. The creatures, they pulled them both inside the painting. Sir? Mistress Fox, Master, I have a report that needs to be delivered to the senior officers. The Lord Captain and the Lady Navigator were lost during the emergency warp jump. Their whereabouts are still unknown. I'm sending you the interrogation reports. End of recording. Sector, no data. Region, no data. Location, no data. Material relation to Lord Captain's personal account recorded by no data. Note strictly classified. Access protocol holder Adolf Argonaut von Valancius. Tisiphone Orselius' ritual did not go as planned. The warp disturbance triggered by the Lady Navigator's trance washed over the Sanctum Navis. The void ship's machine spirits reacted to the surge of the Immaterium and interpreted it as a call to action. Thus did the emergency jump into the unknown begin. Amid the shrieks of sirens and clanging of shutters and the distant hum of the warp engine, some unknown will pulled their Lord Captain into the Sanctum Navis. Toward the creatures... I lost a bit. Toward the creatures from the living canvas that had already gripped Lady Navigator's throat. Horrified and almost out of breath and struggling to scream, Cassia stretched out her hand and began slowly sinking into her own painting. The Lord Captain... I don't know. Weapon skill. Snatched the dagger from the floor, started hacking at the hands reaching from inside the painting. The ritual dagger of Hauser Celio cleaved billowing shadows, and yet the painted hand reformed itself the moment after the blade passed through it. Cassia went limp in the clutches of her horrific creation and was immediately pulled to the other side of the painting. A moment later, Adolf Argonaut, still clutching the dagger, was likewise plunged into the depths of the world the Lady Navigator had created. Oh no, this is like Super Mario 64. Adolf Argonaut awoke, finding himself in the middle of a gigantic, boundless, billowing nothingness. His body felt weightless, floating in a void strewn with hundreds of Lady Navigator's colors. Some of them bright, warm, and alluring, others morose, cold, and heavy. Lord Captain, reached for the bright colors. Adolf Argonaut plunged into a river of bright hues, and flashes of rosy sunset and lilac carried him down the dazzling stream. Before long, the Lord Captain was standing in an idyllic garden, permeated with the fragrance of flowers and the singing of birds. Servants in purple livery darted back and forth, attending to a withered old woman in a navigator's mask. Sitting on her lap and smiling coyly to everyone was a little girl with ruby eyes and white hair. "Be a good little girl, my child, until the day we meet again." With trembling hands, the woman handed the girl to a navigator in the laboratory attire. "I am out of time. Prepare the child for the Atlas transfer and destroy all records and mentions of it, of the world of TV. TV, okay, it's not MTV. None must learn of that which took place here, and remember, her body must grow strong for it to accept my power, and once I have returned, loyalty will be rewarded." The memory dissipated, and a gust of silvery wind hurled the Lord Captain back into the ocean of nothingness. But this time just nothingness felt dismal. Instead of bright hues, all it contained was shadows of invisible monsters swimming by, shrouded by a nebulous veil of unfathomableness. Lord Captain swam toward the dark colors. The grayish-blue waves swallowed the Lord Captain, and the feeling of lightness disappeared as his limbs grew heavy again. Adolf Argonaut fell on the dark floor of a laboratory cluttered with vats as tall as a human. Inside them were dozens, hundreds even, of repulsive mutants. Some had no arms, no legs, or two heads, or no face, and their innards turned inside out, but each had white skin, white hair, long clawed limbs, and ruby eyes. "My lady, the child is born." So is she a clone, sort of like Kamikaze? What's that? Kamikaze Wings? Kamikaze Blast Planes, that's the game's the name. Blast Planes. The tall old woman slowly approached one of the vats. "Readings? Stable. Mutations? None were detected at any of the stages. Genes? Identical, my lady. Chances of survival 100 times higher than any of the previous experiments. How long will it take to grow this child? I fear accelerating the process might cause the body to fail. The only one after years of silence. I understand the situation. Natural growth. I do not have that much time. We will have to go with the backup plan." "Yes, Novator, it will be done." The memory dissipated. Okay. Then Lord Captain closed his eyes, remained adrift in the weightlessness. Adolf Argonaut stayed in the ocean of nothingness, devoid of any sensation or emotion, until an ornate ritual dagger floated before his eyes and reminded him of a world that once seemed more real than this one. Someone's scream broke the delicate equilibrium of the Lord Captain's motionless body, and weightlessness released him. He plummeted into the maroon abyss of roiling illusions, but was now in full control of his body again. Then Adolf Argonaut descended into the abyss toward the screams. Lord Captain crashed from an immeasurable height to the bottom of a roiling abyss. In the next moment, Adolf Argonaut saw two figures amid the billowing maroon mist. One of the figures, unnaturally gaunt and tall, was clutching the other smaller one in its claws, screaming furiously. Lord Captain Awareness check. Peered into the strange maroon mist. Success, of course. In the swirling mist all around him, Adolf Argonaut could make out human faces stricken with torment, and not just human faces. They were Xenos Eldari, the features fused together with those of humans, which made the crimson specters look all the more abominable. Their gazes and their rage were directed at the two unmoving figures facing each other. Lord Captain drew closer to look at the figures. So is she like Cassia, like an amalgamation of human and Eldari genes or something? One step was all it took for some unknown force to notice that Lord Captain sees him and drag him through the painting's twisted space. Now the Lord Captain could clearly see the dark shade of the long-dead navigator leaning over Cassia, clutching her neck with its clawed fingers. The shade screamed, "You were given life because of me. You survived because of me. And here you are now because I have willed it so. Bow before me. Tell me what I wish to hear, and your suffering will end. Go on, child. I have waited for so long. Submit to me." Cassia looked exhausted, her body covered in hundreds of thin cuts, her lips lacerated, claw marks on her cheeks. And yet there was hatred and contempt in her eyes. "I know what you crave, Tisiphone or Celio, but you will never have it. You want my soul, my body. You claim that I am you. No, get out of my head." Cassia freed a hand from Tisiphone's grasp and struck Tisiphone's cadaverous face with all her might, shattering the old woman's skull into the white spatters of paint. So Lord Captain, as persuasion urged the Lady Navigator to fight the monster to the bitter end. Lord Captain's words attracted not just Lady Cassia's attention. Tisiphone or Celio finally noticing the presence of a living creature in that bizarre world, turned to face the interloper and lunged forward, seething with rage. When the entity's claws were millimeters from the rogue trader's throat, Cassia opened her navigator's eye, and a wave of unbridled warp energy obliterated Tisiphone's spectre before she realized what was happening. The Lady Navigator grazed the Lord Captain with a tired smile. The abortive ritual had turned out to be a trap set for Lady Cassia by the previous navigator of her house. But the rogue trader had ensured that her plan failed to ruin, and now it was time to desert that accursed place. Cassia took the rogue trader's hand and guided him through the maroon mist and out of the painting. Their unconscious bodies were discovered in the Sanctum Navis 20 Terran days after their disappearance, as soon as the rogue trader's void ship had emerged from the warp in an unknown system. Okay. So that happened. Let's go explore this weird system then. Isn't one of the Dark Souls 2 DLC also some weird painting stuff? Smaragdus Mundos. Ooh, nice looking sun. Very colorful. Where was this? There are sects in the Imperial... What did she say? There are sects in the Imperial cult whose adherents believe transgressors will be punished after death on burning planets. This world could serve as such a purgatory. Ogre's Anomaly. The burning world looks different from the rest. There are little islands of blue amidst the boundless ocean of crimson and gold, places where natural gases tint the fire with different color. Now that you know what to look for, your augurs easily locate traces of the mysterious underground constructions. And... so what? So we but we don't get anything out of it. Okay, how about the other planet? It's like different color. Like the name is sort of yellowish, orange, whatever. I like the sun. So what's here? Place of Atlas. What did it say? I think we should get these for. There might be some die rolls to be done here. Crone World. Okay. See, do we have like a new stick for her? Staff. Red crystal staff. So the current one is 10 willpower, 15 perception. Be 15 willpower, 10 perception. Better willpower, worse perception. I don't know. Switch them around for fun. Oh, she could actually use these sturdier armors as well.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Yeah, this is some Eldari's design, clearly. Oh, no text. No, I don't want to read. Decayed pages. House Ocelio needs to know what is taking place here. The navigators are frightened enough by its power as it is. The last experiment left 3 from the Sethala clan without a shred of reason. Empty shells will bring no glory to House Ocelio or its lesser brands. We shall carry on. At last we have managed to implant the artifact in the subjects who can wield this power. Perhaps all the navigators who perished in the agonizing torrent of energy were merely a symptom of our decline. I'm tired of counting the dead. The weak have no place among those who have harnessed the Atlas. The abilities have grown manifold and become significantly easier to control and more effective at resisting the ruinous influence of the warp. It's all or nothing. Today is the day when my work is completed and the Starway Atlas takes its final form. The Sethalas have already undergone the operation. All that's left is me, the Atlas that controls them all. Today I become the greatest novator in the history of House Ocelio, or I turn to nothing. This power is beyond compare. All it took was a whim to make the wretched Sethalas fall dead at my feet. It is as if I have a second heart beating in my chest, subjugating any with the ability to touch it. How regrettable it is that this power now extends to House Ocelio navigators who have accepted a piece of the Atlas within themselves. From now on, all children will be gifted with one at their initiation, and there will be no one who can match our greatness. The heart of Navigator's camp. This is where Tisiphone Arcelio performed her experiments hundreds of years ago. Tisiphone.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
There is barely a noticeable imprint of a long clawed hand on the broken cogitator screen. Okay, climb down.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Arcelio navigators left no stone unturned in this Eldorite symbol. It's as if they were looking for something that they just could not find.
The machine god grants me insight.
Okay, we get elite marksman gloves. Plus 15 ballistics. Like, does the ballistics give more damage or higher chance of critting? Character's accuracy with all forms of ranged weapons determines the trajectory of shots in a burst. High ballistic skill indicates character is skilled marksman, someone to be feared on a gunfight or skirmish. The base hit chance for ranged attacks within weapons effective range is 30 plus BS. Guess I still like the damage increase. We got some sort of stuff for Eldari at some point when she wasn't in the party, but don't remember if we gave it or if it's something we really want her to use or not. Liliathan's Fury. Boots aren't very impressive. Whatever. Let's get up from here.
An expected result.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
The Eldari sanctum is blemished by human presence. In their pursuit of ancient Chicos, navigators had no qualms about filling the ruins with machinery and supplies. I think we saw this, yes.
You make my soul uneasy, Seer of Shael. Is it your third eye? Or is it something else? Whatever it is, do not come any closer.
I will say the same to you. The glare of your soul dazzles my sight. To the point of pain, to the point of tears. We should keep our distance.
Someone removed the data crypt from this dead machine to keep the house's secret safe and leave no information about experiments that took place here. Kane's Revenge. Whenever the wearer dodges an attack, they immediately counterattack even can even counter-attack with a ranged weapon in melee range. The counter-attack deals 9% of weapon damage. Cannot be more than 100. Is it? Yeah, I guess it's slightly better than the thing she has now.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Oh, statue.
I have
Lozino.
learned much in my exile.
And the ruined statues once depicted pages from the long history of the Eldari. There's place here, but I think don't think we can.
I'm still new to the art of exploring.
Wait, whoa. Oh, here's
Know your
goods.
duty.
Immaterium Routing Amulet. Whenever the wearer uses Navigator power, they always psychically dodge the next attack by moving to a random adjacent cell. This effect doesn't apply to attacks of opportunity. Fusion Gun Spark. Melta Sniper Rifle. The armor penetration is quite high. Range is lower than in Gift of Kernos. Kilian. Damage is a bit higher in this in Kilian. Should we still? Let's try it for fun. Okay. So can we actually go here? Can we climb this ladder? We can. Fine, let's demolish this thing.
myself through my service.
Chorus of Battle. Ooh, that's even better. Okay. Plasma ring, plasma shot. We don't really need those rings. Grenadier's backpack. Wearer and their allies are immune to damage from the wearer's grenades. First time the wearer uses a grenade during that turn, they have 50% chance not expend the grenade. Well, grenades, bleh. So chorus of battle. Whenever the wielders attack with this weapon hits, all the allies adjacent to the target make an attack of opportunity against it. Okay, that's not that good. Like, usually aren't people next to them, but let's try it regardless.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Oh, that's dudes. Navy's bodyguard. Halt, cursed child. We had to ally ourselves with the Xenos once more to stop you. No matter, it is a small price to pay for the liberation of House Orselio from the chains of tyranny. Pew pew pew. Begun, renegades. We follow the Atlas's call in your wake, child. Stand with us. House Orselio will not trade Tisiphony's legacy for the false ideas of blind fools. What is this floaty thing? What was happening? Oh no, warp stuff. Orselio's renegades representative. Damn, Xenos, this was not the bargain we struck. Throne smite you, the navigators whose skin is so thin that it reveals the muscles, bones and innards underneath clenches his augmented gold jaw in contempt. Great Regent's envoy. What's this? Rogue Trader and the traitors to the house have lured the child into a trap set by Xenos. I wish my eyes were deceiving me, but now I can see clearly that Great Regent Aronto was right to send us after your vessel. So we spared Great Regent Aronto. Okay, the sturdily built woman is armed with a pistol, and yet there are signs of exhaustion in her posture. Her face is hidden behind a gem-encrusted three-eyed mask, and her elaborate Navis nobility vestments are stained with dried blood and other evidence of recent combat. I too wish to be enlightened about what's happening here. Troop Master, you will stop defiling the remains of the hallowed ground of our ancestors with your semblance of speech, monkey. The Harlequin's bright claws glimmer faintly in the dim light of the system's star, and the sinister grin on his mask only adds to his menacing and aloof presence. The final act will soon unfold, where you will pay for the deeds of your ancestors. Stay put and wait for the puppeteer to pull at your strings. Why are there's Xenos ruins where the palace of Atlas should be? Why is this place coated in an impenetrable black mist? I'm suffocating. Cassie clutches her breastplate near where her Atlas is, and her voice feeble and trembling. Three-eyed monkey who sees into Shael, the taint of your ancestors has begun to consume your body and soul. Pathetic fools with an insatiable lust for power that is not yours. Ending your misery will be merciful. Taint? Do you mean the Atlas? Xenos traitor? Silence, traitor. The Atlas is the sacred relic of House Orselio. It is what elevates us above the rest. How dare you? The Regent's envoy abruptly loses her breath with a groan, and as she clutches her chest where her Atlas is implanted. I refuse to accept this. Impossible. What's the taint you speak of, Xenos? Do you not see it? The Harlequin's voice booms throughout the ruined temple. When you monkey discovered this crone world, you tainted it with your crude technology, despoiled it of its relics, ruined all that there was to the last stone. Worst of all, you sullied the souls of our ancestors, reposed in the sacred vessel, the spirit monolith. He points his thin finger to the remarkable crystal floating behind your back, and the harlequins around you tighten their grips of their weapons. Like a sea of bottomless blue. Cassia looks around her with a stunned expression, her gaze shifting from one Xenos to another. I did not know that living things could exude such saturated hues. I wish I could paint this ocean a different color. Examine the hovering crystal. This enormous translucent stone shares a strange resonance with this place. You can sense the energy emanating from it, mysterious, restless, coagulated. It resembles a giant heart that has been plucked out of its owner's chest. Its crystal clarity is pierced by hundreds of dark veins that have taken root within a terrible illness. What is this place? We call planets such as this the crown worlds. They came to be long before my time, back when all the Eldari were a united people whose empire stretched from one edge of the galaxy to the other. It is a world beneath the first stars, an unblighted world. I never thought I would come to find one. I have nothing to add to the outcast's words, other than my eternal astonishment at your curious troop, monkey. How did the navigators of House Arcelio taint the spirit monolith? The experiments, Cassia covers her mouth in horror. This is where she conducted her experiments, Tisiphone. No, it's not possible. To consort with Xenos is to violate the word of the God Emperor. It is known to all that Tisiphone Arcelio executed anyone who showed any interest in the enemies of humanity. Is that so? Then why is it that every piece of metal or fabric in this place bears our house coat of arms? Open your eyes. Quiet. The Harlequin's tone is mild, but it is not a request. I am unsurprised that the truth is hidden from your gazes, three-eyed monkey who see in the Shael. I realized it the moment I met the first of you, wretched, begging us to help you destroy your own kin. I sensed it within you, our ancestors called their pleas, their endless torment. I knew that what you found was a crown world, and I humbly waited for the day you would lead me to it. What is the meaning behind your words, Altair, Troopmaster? Altair, Troopmaster. You know the answer already, Outcast. You have always known. What was that about? Answer you have always known? Elliot Glover says Cassia. So that's why your presence makes my soul shrink to the size of a river pearl and my throat choke in a collar of thorns. That is why your words seep into my soul like poison, leaving wounds that will not heal. There is a shard of the spirit monolith inside you, monkey, twisted, perverted, invigorating you by making my ancestors suffer. Alas, you are right, Outcast. The ancestors of the three-eyed monkey sought to command the power of the spirit monolith, and yet they suffered failure time and again. Eventually they discovered a way to harness this power, a terrible way, tortuous and unforgivable. They shattered the monolith into many shards and weakened the souls within, and then the Harlequin trembles with fury. Then they placed the shards of the spirit monolith inside their bodies to empower their abilities. What a disgrace! Cassia covers her eyes and you feel your heart become gripped by her rage. All this time, House Arcelio's grandeur has been built on lies and betrayal of its blood and the Imperium itself. Neither Theodora von Valansis nor Tisiphone was infallible, but that doesn't mean we are powerless to rectify the errors of our ancestors. You say that only because you wish to soothe me. She smiles faintly. I guess that's true. The renegade navigator stares at Cassia in shock. You are more than just a tyrant's heir. You are the successor to a mad heretic, betrayer of the faith. You must be destroyed, you and the Atlas, once and for all. You think the solution is so easy, don't you, monkey? When you die, your souls become captives inside the spirit monolith. The process is deranging your ancestors who have served as the monolith's guardians for eons. It is equally agonizing to the souls of your dead. And the more monkey souls the monolith absorbs, the more volatile it becomes. The Eldari and the monkey have spent many dance battling for supremacy within the monolith, and its integrity is waning. You sense it too. The only way to free our ancestors from the pain is to separate the monkey taint from the spirit monolith. My troop is here to perform just that. We all will play our parts today, and when the final act of this age-long tragedy begins, the monkey players will exit this world stage. Sinister shadow stands on the Harlequin's mask as he draws an unknown device from his sleeve. Address Cassia, what do you say to this Xenos' assertions? Cassia gives you a grateful nod and turns to the Harlequin troop. I cannot change the past, it is true, nor can I change the fact that my house is forever tainted with disgrace born of Tisiphon Arcelius' hubris. Yet all of us here today have the power to change the future and halt the unending suffering that is drowning both your kin and mine. You suggest that the monkey and the Eldari change the future together. The Harlequin leans forward curiously. I must admit, my leading lady, I am confounded by your audacity. Go on. My Atlas, Cassia places a hand on her gilded breastplate. If you can free the phantoms of my house from the spirit monolith, guide them to enter my Atlas. Their experience and wisdom will help steer House Orcelia onto the path of truth and allow future generations to avoid the calamitous pitfalls of their forebears. Morag, my leading lady, the shards of the monolith are lodged inside the chest of every monkey bound to you by ties of blood. How exactly do you intend to return them? I shall use the Atlas to sever my subjects' connections to the spirit monolith, and then I shall extract its shards from every navigator of House Orcelio. This artifact is implanted at birth, but that does not mean that the ritual cannot be reversed. I witnessed this creation through Tisophanes' eyes in my visions. I lived it over and over again, through the memories of the Sethala clan. I can create the ritual that will return the souls of your kin to you and save my people's lives. Cassia, are you really capable of this? I'm confident in my abilities, more so than ever before. Seldom do humans and Xenos get the chance to resolve their conflicts without violence. I second Lady Cassia's proposal. The Harlequin remains as still as a garish statue for several minutes, then the mellifluous voice behind the mask says, I'm willing to try, monkey. No! The Regent's envoy draws her pistol. I won't let you destroy the Atlas, even if it is the child's wish. Lady Orcelio, you are too young, inexperienced. You simply cannot comprehend. You address the future navigator of House Orcelio, one who survived the massacre of Urak 5, who has lived following an attempt on her life at the Palace of Dargonus, who has restored her house's stability in what scant time she has been free, while you, all of you, have spent years destroying it from within. You address one who has passed through the tempest of Seer's souls to the true Atlas as a rogue trader's ally, yet still you call me unworthy, don't you? Young, inexperienced. Kneel before me, and I shall forgive you for your insolence. Fellowship test succeeded. House Arcelio was always loyal to Navata Tisiphone. Henceforth, it will be loyal to her successor, even if you see fit to lead us down a different path, my lady. Navigator's voice trembles with reverence. Are you done with your performance, monkey? Then stand aside, do not interrupt. Oni mai mani matush. I can feel it again. Tranquility. The ancestral souls have found peace, and corruption no longer endangers the monolith of this world. The Harlequin's narrow shoulders now look completely relaxed. Remember our agreement, Cassia Orcelio. We will soon meet in this place again so that you can give us the shards. No, begone from our world, monkey. Alright. That was somewhat anticlimactic. This whole place feels more like a dream sequence or something. Guess we can keep one of these last guns, even though it's not anything too exciting.
The Divine watches over us.
Text. time-worn manuscript. There was a time when I believed that I would lead my house to prosperity. In truth, fortune and blessings have long since been passing us by, as if the Cronus expanse itself is trying to oust the Orselio children from its bounds. If nothing changes in the near future, all of us will wither like night flowers at dawn, or perhaps face our ultimate fall. Upon my word, the Sea of Souls itself must favor me. During my last jump, I saw into the eye of a vicious storm. Within it, amid the ruins of a Xenos world, was a treasure, mighty and dangerous, not unlike our own power, and I found a way to reach it. I drive away the memory of our journey and the cost that our house suffered. The ritual alone was no matter. The goal will be worth the price, and due effort is all that is needed of us. By the grace of the Emperor, we made it through the terrible tempest. However, Eldari ruins appear to have dampened the crew's spirits. Those pitiful commoners talk too much. Tension in the camp are rising. I should cut out the tongues of those who witnessed the first experiments. This information cannot be allowed to reach the ship. No, not just them. I shall have the Sethala clan dock the tongue of every lowborn.
My success was inevitable.
According to Faded Glyphs, the statue depicts an Eldari hero who created 100 worlds and twice as many
Let the
stars.
faith guide my path to glory.
Too hard for a simple monkey?
This was a piece of an altar that the ancient Eldari used for some forgotten ritual.
None are better at searching.
The Eldari gods once walked among them, teaching and guiding, protecting them from harm. There were no boundaries between mortal creatures and their patrons. Okay, we got a new staff and open soul pendant. First use of its navigator power in combat costs 1 AP less. Okay, let's see. No, the other one gives fellowship and commerce and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, 20 willpower, yes. Okay, this is good. Oh, fellowship is only 99.
Let us walk this path to the end.
The purified monolith shines like a guiding star. Waves of calm and relief wash over the hearts of those who step close. I guess we can leave now. We still have to go talk to Cassie to finish the quest. Cassie. Alright, yes, 97, 98. I really wish the percentages were accurate. Like, you know. Talking, that's accurate. Save file, because we are gonna do some talking. Hopefully not too much.
Von Valancius. The name will be forever preserved in the archives of House Orselio, whose records span the many centuries of the Imperium's history. For, at a critical moment, yours was the crucial influence on our family's future in the Expanse. For better or worse. We have had our differences, but your family's contribution to the settling of House Orselio's internal conflicts is hard to overstate. As the Novateur, I thank you on behalf of us all.
So now you're a full-fledged Novator of House Orselio.
You of all people should know that succession is a lengthy and tiresome process. While my entire house is busy preparing for a grand council at which I am to ceremonially inherit the late Tisiphone's title, I have decided to remain by your side, to relish just a little more of this carefree liberty. For as soon as I am summoned to do my duty, we must say our farewells.
What awaits the navigators of your house now?
The Xenos have managed to free the souls of our ancestors from their confinement. The memory and wisdom of those that came before us will serve our house, helping build upon the ruins of the present a firm foundation for generations to come. I believe in that, as I believe in the divine light of the Emperor.
So now the entire power of the Atlas is in the Novator's hands.
I suppose so, if by power you mean priceless knowledge. As for the special powers granted by the Xenos souls, the navigators of House Orselio will once again have to contend with their own bodily and spiritual limitations. However, I am undaunted by the prospect, for our line and our gene have never been weak. House Orselio will succeed, and soon we will rise again, draped in white and gold.
I'd like to discuss other business.
Of course. I will try to answer any questions you have.
What does your sight reveal?
Too many colors. The hues flicker and intersperse. I have enjoyed your company.
Alright. So now we finished the quest. So we only have this to go to... what's that place? Well, since we are here, let's see if we have to do like some trading. Like, well, we did talk to some of these dudes already last time. Laurels of Command. Wear against move ability cost 0. Military combat tool. Whenever the wearer uses non-attacking consumable items, stimulant medikits, it counts as an attack of different type for versatility. Whatever, okay. Don't really care about those things. Slick body glove, meso arc rifle. Yeah. Kaspalica. And that sniper rifle sucks. Laughing God's Pendant, Dance Macabre ability, Assassin dashes in a straight line. Abyssal Conduit, every second use of a Psycho Staff, unique psychic power deals 10 more additional damage. Hey, there's Elder Charge, I guess we can take that. Grimoire of the Void. Oh. It was like the highest level crap here. Improved Heavy Bolter. Is that even good? Compensator gloves. Wearer ignores weapon recoil while performing ranged burst attacks. The rate of fire of the wearer's weapon is increased by 37%. And the fire is rounded down to the nearest integer. I don't know if panoply of the assassin. Four shots, 27 damage. Melts a bomb mortar. Oh, whenever it hits an enemy ship's hull, it has 75% chance to start internal fires on that ship from 3 to 4 rounds. No, yeah, we still need to give more. That's like, I don't know. I'm mathematics seems very difficult at this state. I'm a bit tired, so. Oh, there's void pirates. Fine. There's like lots of void pirate crap. So we need like around 3,000, yeah, 3,000, whatever. All right. So maybe let's replace that. And okay, let's try it. I don't know if it's gonna be better or worse. Okay, okay. Let's go out to space, do stuff. So that's where we have to go next. I guess we just make a new route. Primitive warp, oh, there's some event, nothing happened basically. Okay, let's go. Oh, yeah. I think there's some weapon, at least potentially for this guy. How much is 15 and 10? stat bonuses. Cheesebringer. Cheese to meet you. Left as a start, he is pissed. Okay, that's not for him. Let's see. Sort of no Xenos and plus 10 to hit against Xenos. Yeah, we gave him the gun recently, but is there something? Maybe there isn't anything new to give him. I guess not. Fine, yeah, let's just go to Euphrates. So there's a siege going on and we are supposed to help out with it. Our captain, the United Corps of the Explorators and the militia forces is ready to attack the heretics who took over Euphrates too. The commanders recognized Lord Inquisitor's sanction and agreed to see the right of supreme command to you. They asked you to summon a council of war in order to establish the plan of attack. How should we respond? Oh. Summon them to the bridge. We will hold a council. Consider it done, your lordship. I will notify the commanders that you are ready to meet with them. So who is here? There's the Opticon 22, right? Is there somebody else we know? Some space marines. So was it the space wolves? The leader of the explorator warrior appears on the bridge, and the deck trembles beneath his metal gate. He has acquired a new set of fearsome armor since the two of you last met, and his Megadron droids are now fitted with more formidable weapons of destruction. Unit Opticon 22, initiating identification, official greeting procedure, unlocking the option of strategic data exchange. Thorvald Iron, right? The Emperor's angel who follows in his wake is clad in armor the color of tempestuous ocean. You hear his voice throaty and brimming with untamed boldness and strength. Which one of you Huskars is Adolf Argonaut von Valancius? I am Thorvald Ironhide, and I wish to see the mortal who has been granted the honor of leading my pack into battle. You are looking at Adolf Argonaut von Valancius, Thorvald Ironhide. Thorvald takes the measure of you and nods in satisfaction. I know the habits of a warrior when I see one. You're no indolent hyoki. Good. I give my approval. We will hunt base-born heretics together. You have not changed, brother Thorvald. High-handed and brazen without measure, and carry yourself another Drekar like it is your own. The wolf bursts into booming laughter and bares his long fangs. Such is the breed of leaders, Ulfa. We stand out. This year ever lost. You cannot find his way when the sun is right over his head. Another explosion of Thorvald's boisterous laughter drowns out Ulfar's stifled yet furious string of curses. Opticon 22, how did you go from overseeing logistics to commanding armies? This command promotion hierarchy status update was executed following the death, decommissioning, deconstruction of the ship fleet of the Wrath Gear. The fleet's war conclave was operating aboard the vessel unit Opticon 22 received premature rank promotion modernization to Magos Dominus based on its extensive catalog of recorded combat engagements. May your service benefit from the updated protocols that were bestowed upon you and the new analytical data that was entrusted to your elucidation. May the Omnisia Guide operate this unit in his cause mission algorithm of service to him. Let's commence the War Council. What good is another War Council with a cog priest who knows not the choice of battle, who cut off his parts and replaced them with augments to please his all-knowing master? He will propose again a cowardly plan unworthy of warriors, as is custom of his brethren. Registering a dismay of impertinence, data insufficiency in regard to the military craft eradicator's methods of Adeptus Mechanicus. We are ready for your orders, Lord Captain. Ishara, what's that? Are you having another fight, gentlemen? How predictable. A woman in heavy armor walks into the breach, cloaked in an air of superiority. You remember seeing her before in the retinue of Xavier Calcasar when he barged into your chambers after your Magna Accessio. Thank you for not starting without me, Acolyte Ishara. Acolyte Ishara dispatched by the Lord Inquisitor to facilitate the operation of Euphrates II. My role on this War Council is that of an advisor. Heinrichs and Ishara exchange glances but do not say a word. You cannot help but notice a furrow that forms on the interrogator's forehead at the sight of his colleague. So, shall we begin our War Council, or shall we wait for heretics to corrupt this planet completely? Ishara, why are you here? Lord Inquisitor entrusted me with the task of forging an alliance between the assembled fleet and the forces of Cognizant's fleet. Once this task is complete, I am to act as an observer and a special operative. What are your responsibilities as a special operative? I'm afraid the Lord Inquisitor did not give me authority to elaborate on this matter. There is no surprise in my heart. The Inquisition is, as always, too ashamed of its dark deeds. Reveal them to honorable fighters. Thorvald makes a show of spitting on the floor. There will be no spitting aboard my ship. Do I make myself clear, esteemed Lord Thorvald? What's this? Show of character? Thorvald growls and locks his indignant gaze with yours. Fine, I will respect your wishes, warlord, but the bitter taste of suspicion burns my mouth. With pointed contempt, he steps away from Ashara. Why would Calcasar choose you? Ashara, I choose you, Pokémon. I happen to have some experience with large-scale bloodshed, rogue trader. That, and I will never fail to deliver results. What troops can you spare to reinforce our army? The militia forces have already been transferred to Opticon 22. All I have left under my command is a tactical unit explicitly instructed to carry out the Lord Inquisitor's special assignments. I see. Now let us move on to discussing how we intend to kill the heretics. You two do not get along too well, do you? You read the hearts like they're inscribed with runes, Adolf Argonaut. Thorvald lets out a mocking chuckle. This true, my brothers and I grow tired of this cock priest and his naysaying. For whatever reason, he thinks himself our lord. I concur with this statement, given that the military action Sacred Purgative Crusade Eradication Procedure is taking place on a world devoted to the machine god. Unit Opticon 22 insists on his privileged status in the matter of strategy selection. I guess it's just logic. Thorvald is right. However destructive the assault might end up being, it will be nothing compared to the damage that every moment of hesitation does to the planet. Analyzing this statement is true. The consequences of the heretical corruption disruption of the procedural cycle are nearing critical levels. In order to prevent them from surpassing those levels, Unit Opticon 22 is prepared to nullify certain protocols related to preservation of sacred relics, high priority production facilities. I've heard enough petty quarrels for one day. Rein in the impudent priest while there's still time, or this battle will then end up in disgraceful defeat. I require a full report on the situation at the front. Euphrates too is a forge world. Manufacturers and extractiums take up most of its surface. Upon corrupting them, disrupting their production algorithm, the heretics enhanced their ranks with possessed mechanisms and forced defective traitorous skittery whose protocols were disfigured with indoctrination scrap code. Our forces have secured minor footholds on the surface but are unable to deliver an effective blow to the headquarters operations center of the profaners in the Machine Cathedral at the heart of Manufactorum Sigma S13. According to the available data, it is the current location of the arch-heretic termination target, the Dark Apostle Uralen the Cruel. Chaos Space Marine from the World Bearers Legion, a sorcerer sworn to serve the Dark Gods. We may outnumber the enemy, but ours is a poor warband. All it has is steel curls of the omniscient, scantily trained sirs from across the expanse. While our foe is detestable. Foe is the detestable but nevertheless deadly putrid-hearted traitors from the ranks of the Word Bearers. The vessels protect Machine Cathedral from orbit. Why have you still not commenced the planetary assault? There is a conflict, critical error, categorical lack of understanding of the imperatives of this operation within our chain of command. Unit Thorvald Ironhide is in favor of a strategy of mass destruction, which would constitute an unacceptable violation of the right of operation. Every square meter of the manufactorums is sacred of high productivity value, which is why the Cog Priest is so intent on hindering and sabotaging our assault by refusing our forces and landing Drekars. But Thorvald Ironhide won't fight on the terms of the priest. If my battle plan is rejected, the Omniscient servants can retake the planet themselves. Maybe they think their lives mean nothing compared to the precious cathedrals, but a wolf knows what his life is worth. Opticon 22, I must say my curiosity is piqued. The explorators are hiding something on that planet, something you refuse to show to anyone and now loath to destroy. What is it? Tech Priest Fox Chris stubbornly. Request denied. The Omniscience mysteries procedures conducted and Euphrates 2 are to remain undisclosed according to the protocol vow of preservation of the hallowed from the profane. This is why on Fenris we have the priest follow the warriors, not the other way around. The priests never think about the battle ahead, but only their tenets and taboos. But a wolf must think only of battle and his enemy's death, not about preserving cathedrals or counting the trophies that await him. Opticon 22, what do you propose our plan should be? Our strategic analysis points toward a full-scale offensive as the optimal course of action. Losses among the troops, insignificant personnel laity will be numerous, but will not exceed acceptable parameters. Replenishing such losses will be less arduous than repairing the damage that may otherwise come to the manufacturers. Thorvald, what would you do if you were in command of this operation? I would rain down vengeful skies upon the enemy. I would plow the land of Euphrates too with shells, shatter their defenses, level the fortified towers, throw their host into disarray. And in that whirlwind of fury, I would lead my glorious pack to pave a path of blood on the cog Carls. I have heard your opinions on this. Choose your strategy wisely. It's not every day you get to heed the advice of a seasoned warrior, one chosen by the All-Father himself to bring death to the foes of humanity. I shall now present you the plan of our assault on Euphrates II. The first step is obvious. We eliminate the machine cathedral's orbital support, but what planetary assault strategy will you choose following the destruction of the enemy void fleet? So we could just send in all in, send everybody there. Doesn't sound very subtle. We will begin by bombarding the enemy's positions, then advance cautiously. We must conserve our troops. What we require is total annihilation. Raise every sacred facility in chapel that our enemies could use as cover. I don't know. We will begin by bombarding the enemy's positions, then advance cautiously. We must conserve our troops. Your plan bores me. That's not a Space Wolf's way of war, but such cowardly strategies are the limit of the omniscience cocktails. So you have my approval. My pack will do all that is asked of it and stand at the vanguard of the assault until we meet at the field of battle of Argonaut. Thorvald looks at Ulfar with a smirk. And then I say the same to you, Ulfar Everlost. It is a pity your pack will not share the inglorious victory with us. Ulfar lets out a bestial grumble and says, that boastful Grisov talks too much about my pack. He knows where my brothers are, I can smell it. Before we dive into the garden, summon him to your ship and let me question him. I wish to hear what he knows, why he still has not lost his blathering tongue to the heretics. Strategy confirmed as optimal, updating the Skiddery tactical programs, transmitting this unit's general blessing authorization for offensive action. The Lord Inquisitor will be delighted at the news that some semblance of order was established in the command. I wish you luck, Rogue Trader. Okay. So we didn't level up or anything yet. So I guess we just go to the planet then. I don't know, like what strategy, like how it's gonna affect the game or anything. Like it's probably some sort of subtle effect. Orbital battle. Rogue Trader's ship took its place at the center of the attack formation. The right flank is guarded by the sacred combat vessels of Adeptus Mechanicus, and the left consisted of the combat forces gathered by the Lord Inquisitor, headed by a frigate of the indomitable Space Wolves. The enemy deployed their ships in a wide arc in an attempt to surround the squadron. But the heretics' plan was not meant to be. Thorvald and Opticon 22 sent their detachments forward, tying up the enemy in combat and presenting Lord Captain with the chance to deliver a blow to the very heart of the enemy position where the flagship of these traders of humanity awaited their final hour. Okay, so we get finally battle and ship-to-ship battle. Yay! Much rejoicing. So, what sort of an invasion? Wait, so we fight against one ship. It seems a bit sad, like big embargo. Like, okay, it's a big ship. Okay, it's not very. just go here, lure it closer, get hit. So evasion increased, okay. So yeah, we have no chance of hitting with any attack right now. Let's make it... Oh, target is invalid. Is it too big for this? That's probably the case. How we can use this? Okay, vulnerability scan. Blasphemous sticks. Sticks, hex and hammer. No fire. Pew pew. Right. Let's move the... Yes, they can hit. Nice. Guess we should shoot first. It's too far. That sucks. Now we can try to lower his shields with that thing. Ooh, nice. Smell the bombs. Nice hits. Oh, we can still ram. I don't think that's necessarily the smartest idea. What's this? What are these? Does it mean it's like some evade because we have this thing on? So does it mean it's like bonus to evasion or something? Can we use this? Nope. We can... Okay, it didn't take damage. Oh, we can still... Okay, let's go one more step. Yeah, I guess. Pew pew pew. Okay, at least he hit. Ooh, and finished off that thing. Okay, didn't move at all. Or if he moves, will he fall? Smell their ass. I just... Oh. Alright. this. Bang, bang, bang. Finish him. Don't fly into that, you moron. Oh, okay, it blew up.
A worthy deed.
And a level up. But now the game doesn't let me go to the level. Oh, it did. Okay, okay. Strafe. Okay, let's get silent running too. And strafe. I guess repair the hull. Brett hull hockey. Alright, we get to save and everything, or we can still escape if we want. I guess that's good. Don't close your ears to my words, Edgewater, or we may quarrel. Before we go to the bloodiest of battles, allow me to summon that imputed boaster Thorvald Ironheart from your ship. The word of the cog priest can wait until two wolves have spoken their words. Understand, Edgewater, how important this conversation is. It is my hunting path. We may either prowl together or I shall walk it alone. I hope you heed my words. I do not wish to abandon your warband before my debt for being freed from the Xenos thraldom is repaid. You will have your meeting with Thorvald. Come to the bridge. That's better, Edgewater. We'll talk to the brazen Blowhorde first and crush the heretics later. Okay. Let's have a conversation. Converse with the station. All right. Thorvald has not come alone, but with a young brother in arms. With a mocking glance at Ulfar, he blows. Thorvald Ironhide is here. Why have you summoned me, rogue trader? Speak to me. Ulfar's usual brash joviality has evaporated from his voice. Know you, Thorvald, whither the path of battle has led my pack. Baleful howl. You haven't lost your pack, have you ever lost? The young wolf's is Halbrand. The young wolf's voice is strong and insolent, richly melodic. He tilts his head in mocking concern, watching Ulfar's complexion change to match the violent shade of his hair. Why do you call Ulfar Everlost? You do not know. I'm not surprised. Brother Ulfar does not care for the moniker. He has had it since his early years in the chapter, when Ulfar underwent his trial of the Cup of Wulfen. He took so much longer than the others that the rune priest gave him up for lost. Later he received grievous wounds in raids that sent him into stasis sleep for a long time. Anytime we would pay visit to Baleful Howl, we would ask, where is Brother Ulfar? And he was always resting, and recently he went missing altogether, lost after an attack on Xenos. Thorvald grins mockingly, his long fangs glinting. And forget not to tell of the dire curse that of yore was laid upon the mighty Ulfar. No good death, for he misfated, only to one day be lost, bereft of glory and honor. Halbrand declaims the lines so sonorously and powerfully that the bulkheads begin to vibrate. But isn't Halbrand or something like that, like in the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, quote unquote? Like, isn't that like this guy who is Sauron or something? I haven't watched it, but I've seen some reviews. And any who cross this path, let him regale and gladly that proud warrior Halbrand Blatterskite, singer of rumors and a fine tattler of tall tales, for he has glimpsed no worthy deeds in his short life. We did not have a chance to talk properly at the council. I wanted to meet you. Ah, of course you do. Who would miss the chance to strike up a friendship with the illustrious leader of the equally illustrious Stormbiters? Go on, Halbrand, recite the saga of my exploits, and make sure to include a landing in the void Kraken's mouth. This is Halbrand, the Bee, the brave, the most sonorous voice in my pack. Thorvald nods at tall wolf, who seems to radiate the proud vigor of a warrior. I think you meant to say Halbrand the braggart, no, for his verses often weave together the truth with his own flight of fancy. Ulfra smiles vindictively with a viciousness utterly unbecoming of an angel of the Emperor. Now it's Halbrand's turn to blush. Thorvald chuckles. Thank you for the correction, Everlost. I reckon we can do without the saga. Or are all wolves so hostile towards one another? Is it something personal between the two of you? Thorvald chuckles. It is only friendly nipping. If there was hatred between us, the walls of this glorious hall would have long since been painted with blood. Such is a warrior's nature, a wolf's nature. When we meet with strength, we test our teeth on it. Ulfar halves a laugh in response. But there's a personal side to it as well. The Stormbiters have always tried to best the baleful howl in the glory of their exploits. Tried and failed, for my pack was and remains superior. Do you know where Ulfar's pack is now? Feasting with the Allfather in the Hall of Heroes, I reckon, with Mjord filling their horns to the brim as valor and loyalty did fill their hearts. Lies! Did you see their bodies? Which of the brothers will avow the truth of these words? Ironhide never lies. The young wall's arm cuts through the air like an axe, and he angrily points at Ulfar. And you, Everlust, watch your tongue unless you want my dagger to deliver a penance of eternal silence upon you. No, we did not see the bodies, but we heard their ranting and raving, which can only lead to the jaws of Morkai. I would like to know the details. In the battle in which you, Everlost, Arnulf, and Skiadi were captured by the Xenos, the baleful Howl took prisoners of their own. Under torture, the captive Xenos gave out the star coordinates of where to go next. Some unimportant meeting, it seems. The place was far away, deep in the uncharted regions where the servants of the Allfather have never ventured, and your brothers decided to go there. No navigator would dare lead them to those dark places, so your brother sees the trading boat voyage there without a helmsman. So you abandoned them to their grueling march. Ulfar's voice drops a menacing rasp. Lower your hackles. I urge them not to throw away their lives in vain. Nothing but death could await them among those malevolent stars. We all came here to serve the Allfather and repay our blood debt. Not to die for naught, or have you forgotten that, Everlost? Ulfar, what will you do with this knowledge? I will not test our friendship, Edfather. I know that if I call upon you to go with me and search for my pack, I will be taking you away from the important battles and saving of your home. So I will go alone to seek my brothers, but I will not abandon you in your hour of need. I owe you. When we have defeated your enemies, I will leave you to follow the trail. The trail is bloody and has long since gone cold, Brother Ulfa. There is no need to add another body to its tally. As the leader of the Stormbriders, I call you to our pack. Be a brother to us now. Ulfa gives a peacefully smiling Thorvald a penetrating look, his face darkening, his voice dropping to a low bestial snarl. Have you lost your mind, Thorvald? Perhaps. It is you who lost your mind, if you are daring to speak so insolently to Ironhide. Thorbrand's insinuating tone is dripping with such menace that even the drawing of a sword could not have made his threat any clearer. What makes you so certain they are dead? When the baleful howl was setting off, we exchanged gifts, our pack runes. Every 10th watch, a priest cast the runes and saw what fate they revealed. 50 watches after the baleful howl left, the runes showed calamity. 60 watches after they left, death. Since then, the runes have been voiceless and their patterns hold no meaning. And that's it. The spirits deceive you. Your priest went a little soft in the head and forgot how to read his runes, and for that you gave my pack up for dead. Cowards. The runes do not lie, Ulfar, you know this. I'm sorry about your brothers, but their fate is clear. Why do you want Ulfar to join your pack? He is our brother. He should not be left to wander the galaxy in the company of ordinary mortals alone. Wolves are like sharp knives. We hone ourselves against each other, and without brothers, Ulfar will rust and grow dull. Be with us, Ulfar. We will take you in. Go to hell, Thorvald. They'll take you in there. Thorvald, your associate, too often speaks when no one has addressed him. Giving you a disgruntled look, Thorvald sternly cuts you off. When it concerns Wolf matters, Halbrand will speak if he wishes. Do not forget that we are chosen warriors of the Allfather, Rogue Trader. Treat us like servants at your peril. Ulfar's eyes flash with fury. Stop there, Thorvald. This mortal rescued me from captivity and proved his valor. I will stand here and allow him to be disrespected. So you hold this mortal above your brothers, being without a pack has turned you into feral and stupid Everlost. Ulfar is right, he is loyal to his brothers. Stay out of our business, Rogue Trader. I will not reveal the coordinates of the place to which your brothers traveled. Respect your Alpha, Ulfar. That's an order. You are too quick to call yourself my leader, Thorvald. Go and bark commands at your pups. Who are you calling a pup, Everlust? Unlike your pathetic pack, we will soon go into battle and accomplish great deeds, but you, coward that you are, want to shirk your duty. Ulfar's and Halbrand's roars merge into a single word, duel. Say nothing, do not interfere. Let's just see what happens. Harsh shout drowns out the two wolves who are ready to lunge at one another. Quiet, both of you. Have you forgotten where you are? Holmgang can only take place on solid ground, not on a boat. The void and the warp are treacherous and unfit to host a duel of the worthy. And secondly, I am your superior, Ulfar, and so I am not asking but ordering you to back up your chest beating with deeds. If the baleful howl pack is alive, as you say, let it march with the Stormbiters in the assault on Euphrates too. Let it display the valor of all the stories tell of. Will you stand alone for all your brothers? I have you gone soft. Awareness succeeded. The wolf leader's tone may be threatening, but you notice a slight glint in his eye. Ulfar, on the other hand, is growling furiously with no matching twinkle in his gaze. We'll see about that. I will prove that the Stormbiters will never be a match for the baleful howl, Edward. I must be at your side when you depart for the assault. Promise that you will grant me this honor. Thorvald, will you not simply tell Ulfar where to look for his pack? Thorvald's face seems to sag under a sudden weight. When the baleful howl left, I became the highest-ranking wolf in the Expanse. I am the Alpha. It is my duty to ensure that not one of the Allfather's chosen warriors loses his life for foolish or fruitless ends, not even Ulfar. Okay, I promise Ulfar we will march into battle together. If you prove that your words carry more weight than a battle axe, I will tell you where your brothers went. If you fail, you will submit. Thorvald's lips curve into a superior smirk. Alright. Let's go into the planet then. So I guess this place will reveal something about Ulfar's pack or something. Maybe the half brand or whatever. Maybe he's, I don't know, a traitor or something, or he's too obvious to be the traitor, so maybe it's actually the Ironhide or whatever his name was. Oh, okay. Coronus expands Mundus Valence's system. Dargonus Palace for the Lord General Militant. Extract from memoirs when the expanse burned. Author Corvin Lazarus, Lord General Militant of the Dargonus Planetary Defense Garrison. A general once said that all wars are fundamentally the same. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Rock shit. That general didn't witness events of Euphrates too. Rogue trader Adolf Argonaut von Valancius was the supreme commander in that battle. Man of iron will, unfaltering, unshakable, I served in his personal enforcer guard back then. Just another cocky kid who thought he was an expert soldier. The Emperor was gracious to me. He gave me a chance to realize just how wrong I was. Most of my comrades didn't get a chance like that. Driven, new quest. Lord Argenta and Lord Captain have uncovered a clue to the possible location of the Saint. Okay. The shuttles would have blocked out the sun if you could have seen it through the smoke of the manufacturing city of Sigma S13. At its heart stood the machine cathedral, our primary objective. The Lord Captain showed us mercy by having the landing zone bombarded from orbit. All the shuttles carrying troops and, more importantly, precious vehicles reached their destination. Daunted by our numbers, the enemy withdrew. That was the perfect moment for a decisive attack. With an armored vehicle force of this size, we had the upper hand. Upon descending from orbit, Sister Argenta inspired the troops with her very first notes of her prayers. Her singing was the Emperor's voice commanding us to fight without any regard for our lives. After rousing the soldiers to launch a daring raid, she quickly captured one of the heretics' commanders. That was when we heard a starkly different voice come from the Sister of Battle. Trembling with fury, she personally interrogated the miscreant, pulling one poisoned confession after another out of him. Once she was done, the world was purged of his impure breath, and she was the one wielding the flamer. The sight of that heretic writing in flames imprinted upon our memory, shining a light on the cruel darkness of our immediate future like a brilliant beacon. In the command center, Lord Captain ordered his generals to I guess it's good. No, Lore Imperium commands a rapid tank assault in accordance with the military doctrine armored wave devised by Lord Meridian Justice Quinn. Our negligible losses during the landing stage gave us enough armored vehicles for a decisive push against the enemy's positions. We began our advance. I will never forget the roar of the tank. Its tread spreading heretics' infantry to pieces, accompanied by the shrieks of lasguns and the rumble of heavy artillery. The deafening symphony of war. Nothing could stop us. We marched in the wake of a column of armored beasts, not turning to look at the mushroom clouds, climbing over the piles of the enemy bodies and those of our own. We had our orders. Your orders? Pushing through the ruins of sacred workshops, we looked with awe upon machines that, up until that point, had remained forbidden to the eyes of the lady. Those were palaces of incredible and frightening technology. Void ship assembly halls, alchemical atriums, sacred arsenals, generators producing invisible fields unsettling to the mind, and scriptoriums containing knowledge of horrors best left undiscovered. Awareness succeeded. In one of the chemical chapels, we came upon a ship of cisterns containing hallucinogenic gas. Tech priests protested that the substance was not designed for warfare and that it was created for higher rituals, but the officers wasted no time pumping our artillery shells full of the gas. At last we reached the gates of Dock Mu 514, the threshold of the metals nightmare that was the manufacturing Sigma S13. However, the initial attempts to storm the dock shattered against the enemy's defenses. Magus Dominus Opticon 22 proposed attack sabotage. He could send small skittery units behind enemy lines, have them subdue the spirits of the area's defense systems. Thorvald, the fierce leader of the Space Wolves, proposed sending infiltrators beyond the walls to kill enemy officers, weaken the dock's defenses. Lord Captain ordered... Oh no, we are not fanatical heretics, we can't do this thing. So sabotage, infiltrators, execute on enemy commanders, arouse, shelling of enemy with gas munitions procured on the surface. I guess deployment of infiltrators and the execution of enemy commanders sounds like fun. Space Wolves entered the city undetected, reaped a bloody harvest there. None could hide from those fierce and cunning warriors. The infiltrators killed one of the officer after another. Sowing panic and disarray among the enemy, the bodies were impaled on spikes so that the heretics could see their commanders from afar. Once the mayhem had reached its peak, the Space Wolves demolished the turrets, opened the gates, and gave the signal to attack. The dock was ours. It took many days to break through to the metal heart of the manufactory. In the third week of the assault, the vanguard was halted and swept away a salvo of plasma macro cannons. Scorning every canon of sacred engineering, the heretics had placed the hull of an unfinished void crusher on the treads several kilometers long. This leviathan of adamantine and plastic barred our way. Dogmatic fanatic. I guess we have to use this. Ordered an assault. No, wait, we still have stuff to read. Magus Dominus Opticon 22 instates that we retake the sacred machine, for the vessel had been in the making of many decades, and its destruction would have meant a great tragedy for the Imperium. It came as a surprise to all when the Space Wolf Thorvald supported Mage Magus Dominus after the Lord Captain had reconciled with him. The explorator leader Thorvald had tamed his pride and spoke in favor of Tech Priest's cause of liberating the noble machine. So Lord Captain ordered an assault column to be formed from the repentant manufacturing workers, granting those captives the right to atone for the crime with their blood. Dogmatic. Plus 30, nice. Lord Captain was merciful. Each captive was issued a single shot, last fusel and bayonet, whereupon an order was given to take the cruiser at any cost. The deal was that those who survived the attack would be granted the Emperor's pardon and could enlist in the Liberation Army. Traitors in wartime can seldom hope to be given a second time, let alone an offer of such generosity. No more than 100 of them were left alive that day. The Emperor was harsh on those who had turned against him, but many a seasoned soldier could have learned from their fervor. Covered in oil, blood, and soot, their eyes full of desperate zeal, the penal unit's fighters somehow managed, despite their losses, to break through to the mighty cruiser. They climbed shafts, used their bayonets, applied what scant knowledge they had of sacred technology. Eventually they destroyed the heretics operating the macro cannons. Enforcer strike groups were able to land on the cruiser, clean up the remaining cultists. The cruiser was conquered. Slipping on pools of blood mixed with sacred unguents, we made it to the machine cathedral, a gargantuan hall breathing with the flames of 1,000 furnaces, the last bastion of the enemy army. That was where I first faced the word bearers, betrayers of humanity and unworthy sons of the Emperor. But what could we, mere humans, possibly do to match their unholy bestial rage? So Lord Captain... I guess, yeah. Persuasion devised a plan that placed the Space Wolves at the forefront of our strike. The Emperor's angels themselves led the charge that day. Magnificent in their rage, they forged a path for us to follow, and even the appalling champions of the archenemy could not stop them. While we distracted the enemy with suppressive fire and a hail of grenades, our unyielding leaders charged the word bearers and tore them to pieces. We were the anvil of his wrath, they were the hammer. And that's when it came. Doomscream, an ancient and bloodthirsty hell brute, a merciless executioner forged from adamantine and ceramite. The single foe was repelling our assaults one after another. After the other, turning hundreds of soldiers into bloody pulp. For as long as the abomination lived, we had no hope of reaching the heart of the enemy citadel. Dire-eyed Thorvald volunteered to track down and destroy the vile spawn, but fate had other things in store for him and his brothers. The Space Wolves pack was to be the first to storm the Machine Cathedral, and thus Magos Dominus Opticon 22 assembled a cohort of elite skittery and said that he would locate and eliminate Doomscream. The soldiers were whispering that he was willing to activate the so-called Guaranteed Annihilation Protocol, a terrible and ominous rite that is lethal to the enemies of the Omnisia, as it is to his faithful servants. Upon arriving at the front lines, Lord Captain weapons skill 7. Led his retinue to hunt down the ancient killing machine himself. Let's see. Success. What happened next would become a legend. The Lord Captain at the head of his retinue challenged the bloodlusting heresiarch that had crawled out of the darkness of time. He dealt the wicked executioner a heavy and mortifying blow, and thus Doomscream was routed. The abomination's torn pincer fitted with an ancient and powerful bolter became the Rogue Trader's rightful trophy. Nice. At last we reached the Machine Cathedral, and we saw a yawning lift shaft left behind by a colossal land-gnawing drill that has burrowed for kilometers into the depths of the planet. There deep below lay the last hiding place of the heretics' leaders. Hundreds of grenades, accompanied by promises of swift judgment, were hurled into the pit. Such was our righteous anger. The planetary assault was a resounding success. The enemy forces was shattered and broken. A small fraction remained in the Machine Cathedral, but the rest either had been destroyed or were destined to meet the same inevitable fate soon. The Lord Captain's retinue and the Space Wolves band delved into the shaft, heading toward the heart of the Machine Cathedral. We watched them leave with reverence in our eyes as we were setting up a perimeter around the entrance. We knew that the true outcome of the Battle of Euphrates II depended on them, and that our fates were theirs to decide. Yeah, Pascal. I guess, yeah, this is a fine team to bring. Machine Cathedral. So is this gonna be sort of like what's the planet called? You know, one of my planets, the Forge World planet or whatever. That was also taken over by heretics. But yeah, the assault went well. May the energy of the meteorium flow in the blah blah blah. May the gears resume turning. May the batteries be infused with the blessed poison blah blah blah. It's too fast. Ural and the crew. Yeah, we've seen this guy somewhere. Giant clad in dark crimson armor is in the middle of a sinister litany. His words churning into a repulsive ethereal stench and flakes of otherworldly ice. He does not notice your presence. Conrad Voigtveer, oh, that asshole is here. The same cannot be said about Conrad Voigtveer, who stands at his side. His completely mutated turquoise eyes flash upon seeing you. He flinches but remains silent, hesitant to interrupt the ritual. Lore Warp, observe the sinister sorceress work. Let's see if it success. You can feel the strings of the surreal force emanating from the sorcerer's fingers and wrapping around the enormous disc of the drill. He's feeding its sacred batteries with his profane magic as if it were the motive force, subjugating tech priest creation to his will. The sorcerer does not turn his head as his voice rolls over the room. I see you, mortal thing. I sense your meek mind. The sorcerer reluctantly turns his burning gaze upon you. So you are the one who was so eager to meet me and your own demise. Rejoice, brother Twilight. Today you become the new rogue trader. Wojtwir's deformed features twist into a bloodthirsty smile. Yes, master, I will rectify my mistake, reclaim what was stolen. Let's examine the machine first. Platform beneath the sorcerer's feet is a drilling machine's massive tunneling shield. This mighty mechanism can gnaw through an underground rock, bunker bulkheads and reinforced with adamantite, or anything else that may lurk in the planet's depths. Corrupted servants of the Deus Mechanicus scuttle around the heretic, muttering twisted prayers of ignition in attempts to persuade the omniscious, majestic beast to awaken and rend the world's flesh. Okay, it requires dogmatic fanatic. Speak litany of purification to smother the profanity of the sorcerer's words. Oh, he took damage. Nice. 30 dogmatic again. Sacred words sustained by your indomitable faith illuminate the air and send a mighty echo across the room. So great is their strength that the sorcerer's words drown within, and the currents of heretical powers swirling around the drill begin to ebb. Once the final words of the prayer escape your lips, righteous light envelops the drill, washing away the unhallowed taint. The sorcerer, scorched by the radiance of the Emperor himself, growls in pain and rage. Thorvald Ironhide, the wolf, lets out a chilling howl, and his pack readied their weapons, acknowledging it as an equivocal order to kill. In the solemn gesture of his hands, Uralen thunders in fury. Let those who blaspheme against the true gods beg forgiveness in vain. Let their lips be sealed, let their hands be severed, let their souls be reaped and scourged. Pew pew pew. To battle wolves, do not allow the malefic any respite. Von Valancius, find cover and something. A glorious fight awaits. Take heed with this silver-tongued traitor, for he is old, sly, and strong. But by the All-Father, the wolves will spill rivers of blood today. The horrific display of profane sorcery appears to have filled Thorvald with joy and anticipation rather than fear. Have you encountered Uralen before? No, or else his head wouldn't be still attached to his neck, but my pack has heard plenty about his strength and ignominious misdoings. One can see the evidence of his malefactions all across the Cronus expanse like bear tracks upon fresh snow. We stalked him and looked for a chance to clamp our jaws around his throat, but the craven knows well to hide behind the backs of his heretical lackeys. What manner of witchcraft was he attempting back there? He wished to wake the tunneling behemoth. If you hunger for my thoughts, Uralen is searching for something down below, in the Manufactorum's deepest halls. My warriors destroyed the energy found and silenced the drill, but the detestable Malefic still found a way to revive it with his heinous magics. Another blasphemy. They are too many to count now. Pascal's dry voice is rattling like a heavy vehicle's chain track. His visor lights up a blinding green, then blue, and you hear a metallic moan coming from everywhere. It is as though the Manufactorum itself is being tortured. What's Uralen after? What's he trying to unearth? Do not ask, for I know not myself. Calcaser treats his allies like a Fenrisian mushroom farmer treats his produce. He keeps them in the dark and feeds them shit. He didn't see fit to enlighten us about secrets of Euphrates too, but it's no matter. Whatever it is, we mustn't let loathsome Malefic claim it. I will deal with him. You're a brave one, not easily deterred. Good. Then find a way to reach the tunneling platform while we give the mangy sorcerer something to worry about. Thorvald exchanges glances with his warriors, and you could swear they all smile in anticipation inside their helmets. Halbrand, you stick to the original plan. Take 2 brothers and go after Doomscream. Our scouts report that he took refuge here in those steps after being defeated in battle on the approach to the Machine Cathedral. I want to take the unholy tin can that holds this traitorous brain back to Fenris. Good hunting. We won't fail you. The eager space marine lets out a hungry proudly tread the hunger scream in chase of a beast of steel and blood, fangs bared sharp in thirst of prey. Let glory cloak their mighty gates. Doomscream, he hides in this den. Step aside, Halbrand. I will be one to slay it. I will claim this quarry for the baleful howl. Who or what is Doomscream? An old and vicious heretic, a hell-brute whose veins boil with poisonous rage and savagery. His mind and body have been so warped by the ruinous powers that his very existence is an affront to the All-Father's warriors. Tread lightly when facing him, young brother. Yes, the beast is mad and hideous, but he is withal mighty, old, and graced with the archenemy's profane patronage. His hateful sermons abound with malefictions, and his weapon claimed the lives of hundreds during the assault. We grievously wounded him, true, but we haven't seen the last of this foe. If Ulfar kills Doomscream, will that prove that Baleful Howl lives? If it comes to pass, I will be first to raise a cup to the proud name of this ferocious pack. Okay, Ulfar, we set out to hunt the beast. Do not seek the best mean hunting, Ulfar Everlost. None are faster or deadlier than the Stormbiters. We will see, young wolf, we will see. Luck be with you, warriors. Eidur Rus, Adolf Argonaut. Oh, they just disappeared, and we got a level up and everything. We got the new gun, right? Unhallowed Bellow. Well, this is heretical, so it's not useful at all. Maybe I will deal with the level up now. Oh, grants additional AP at the 10th and 20th exemplar rank. Oh, that's cool. So, is it the same for everybody? Yeah, so we're just gonna get additional AP, and this is gonna be a fast level up. Very nice. Alright, that was the fastest level up ever. Guess just overwrite this one. Well, maybe I'm gonna end the stream here. Like, you know, of course the fight would be exciting and stuff, but I'm actually a bit tired and stuff today, so yeah. You know, yesterday's stream was much longer, so maybe I can be afforded a shorter stream today. So I'm Adventure Argonaut. I thank you for watching, and bye bye.